Happy Monday night, everybody. It is time for some Monday Night Baseball. The high-powered New York Mets are taking on Paul Skeens and the struggling Pirates, but Skeens still looking as good as advertised this year. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to MetropoliFins. We're YouTube's smallest New York Mets and Miami Dolphins channel. My name is Craig, and I am excited to be here with you tonight. The Mets look to continue their early season success by taking on one of the best pitchers in baseball. Paul Skeens will be going up against the Mets and David Peterson, who will be pitching for the Mets here tonight. So appreciate everybody as you come on. Please hit that like, hit that subscribe. We're on the journey to 500 subscribers, trying to get to 500 by the All-Star break. And so each and every one of you that hits those like and subscribe buttons helps us get the word out to the YouTube world. Appreciate each and every one of you. Quickly, we will run through the Mets starting lineup. The top part of it will be absolutely what you're used to if you are a Mets fan. No major changes at the top. But we'll just kind of run through. This is kind of my favorite Mets lineup. The lineup that they're running out here today, this is probably my favorite Mets lineup of who we have available right now. You can disagree or agree in the comments below. There's little things that I could pick apart at it, but overall, I like this. Leading off the Mets will be Francisco Lindor at shortstop, followed by Juan Soto in right, Pete Alonso playing first. Cleanup hitter tonight will be Brandon Nimmo in left field. Vientos will be designated hitter, batting fifth. Jeff McNeil, center field, batting sixth. Francisco Alvarez catching in seventh. Brett Beatty, who's on an absolute bender right now, is hitting eighth, playing third base tonight. And Luis Angel Acuna is playing second base, hitting ninth. For the Pirates today, it's going to be Ke'Bryan Hayes, Brian Reynolds, Andrew McCutchen, Joey Bart, Gorski, Isaiah Kiner-Falefa, Alexander Canario, the former preseason New York Mets legend, Triolo, and Henry Davis, the catcher. We have here is the very first pitch of the game. It is a strike right down the center, and we are off here on a Monday night. Super excited to be here with you. Mets are first place in your power rankings. Yeah, they are. They're looking pretty good. I moved them up to third in mine. I moved the Mets up to third in my power rankings, just because I don't think anybody has surpassed the Tigers yet. I don't even have the die, so I have Tigers, Dodgers, Mets. That's my 1, 2, and 3. But I think you can make an argument for any one of those three teams being the best team. Taking 2 out of 3 from the Cubs was good. Ke'Bryan Hayes flies this out to right field, and Juan Soto's under makes the catch. And 4 pitches in, we are already 1 out. But yes, the Mets did run the gauntlet, and they had some, having to go on the road against the Diamondbacks and different things. There's definitely some ups and downs with this team. I do not expect that this is still the final roster we're going to take into the playoffs. There will be moves to be made. I still think center field, a top-tier center fielder is – I was watching some of my old videos today. That was on my wish list in the preseason. It's still there now. Brian Reynolds grounds to Francisco Lindor. It's a quick 2 outs here in the top of the first. 5 pitches in, 2 outs. The Mets need not only to win these games against the Pirates, but they need to have really good starting pitching performances and give our bullpen a little bit of a rest. The Pirates did do us a nice favor this weekend. They took 2 out of 3 from the Braves. So hopefully that means they got all their winning out of their system, and we can just hang out here and enjoy everything. By the way, I got my office cleaned today. I found my jersey and had fallen behind some stuff. So I'm excited to be back in uniform. That's outside. 2 balls and no strikes to the absolute Pirates legend, Andrew McCutchen. Is Andrew McCutchen going to the Hall of Fame? That is a great question, and I wonder. There's a strike. 3 balls and 1 strike to Andrew McCutchen. Wizzy, let's go Mets, baby. How's it going? Thank you, Rels. Yeah, between not having Roku and it being Mother's Day and doing some family time and then also doing some good deliveries, it was a really good delivery supper time yesterday. So that's what I do. But we're back and we are at it here tonight. But I appreciate you guys. I miss you guys too. But we hopefully will be with you for all three games of this Pirates series. They're all 7:10 start times, I think. Peterson is not able to get that pitch over the plate. It's going to be a 2-out walk here for Andrew McCutchen. What do you guys think? Have any of you guys looked at the stats of Andrew McCutchen? Is he a potential future Hall of Famer? He is certainly going to have his number retired in Pittsburgh. Hey, I'm always open for a gift for the Mets, Wesley. I feel like if he keeps on stacking stats for a couple more years, I think McCutchen gets in. But I haven't really looked at everything. I'm just reading some Reddit threads here. They compare Andrew McCutchen to Dale Murphy. Kutch is a yes, a no from Wesley. He was on a better team all those years, yeah. Thank you, Wesley. Foul ball. They called it. Alfonso Marquez called that a foul ball over the third baseline. They called it an out. So good play by Beatty that will not go into the books to make that throw across. He would have been out. Joey Bart, just a few years ago, was the heir apparent for Buster Posey in San Francisco. And now he's the designated hitter in Pittsburgh. So sometimes life comes at you fast. Uh, but so far this season, he's doing really well. He's hitting 291. His power's a little low, only one home run, but hitting 291, 30 hits, and 103 at bats. He's also a catcher by trade, of course, but Henry Davis does, I think, the majority of the catching for the Pirates. You met Ron Darley and got a signature. Very nice, Wesley. Here's the 1-2 pitch to Joey Bart. That's there. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Some people, so I'm just reading some Reddit message forums on Andrew McCutchen. Some people kind of put McCutchen in that Torrey Hunter category. Really, really good, but not quite Hall of Fame level. Oh, your Mets hat got your Mets hat signed, Wesley? Awesome. Very nice. Ron Darling has a really cool looking signature. Peterson's going to walk Bart here, back to back walks. That's really rough. A little conceited. Well, I'm sure he gets a lot of autograph requests too. So maybe he was just having an off day. So last year, Joey Bart was catching in the bullpen and a ball hit him in the head and he got hurt. Ooh, I don't think I heard that story. But it is good to see that his bat is coming around because that was one of his big concerns in San Francisco. I don't think his catching ability was horrible, but his bat just wasn't showing up. He was part of that crew that got really hard impacted by the 2020. I think he was either a rookie. His rookie season was either 2020 or 2021. All those 2020 rookies and draft picks, they all got. It really hurt missing basically one of the most important years of development. Gorski passed away, so Peterson's ahead 0-2. Let's see if we can put him away because this was like such a good, clean inning, and now we've gone walk. And this is again kind of the frustration of the Mets starters, as good as they've been. I'll try not to be too conceited when I sign your hat, Wesley. There, you get some swing in there. got him swinging on the curveball. Got bailed out on that. So that was not. So I mean, it's two great batters and then back-to-back walks, and it's the stuff like that that's just really hurting our bullpen in the long run. It, of course, doesn't hurt here. It's just the first inning, but that could have easily been a 12 pitch inning, and turns out to be a 20 pitch inning. And so that's just how it goes. But overall, hey, it's still no runs. We're going to go to the bottom of the first inning. It is the top of the Mets order. Due up. All right, so a couple things before we dive into some things. First of all, if you want to help support this small channel and appreciate the videos, you want to see more, I've got more ideas. I just don't have the time because I got to work my other job. But the more income that can come in through the YouTube channels means less work that I have to do through other channels. So if you want to help support this channel financially and you're in the position to do so, there is the link. It's the pinned comment, patreon.com/MetropoliFins. You just click on that link, check it out. Thank you to our couple of early adopters. We got a couple of Patreons already. Patrons, Darren Rivera and Byford the Hobbit. Appreciate both of you guys for supporting the channel. If you are interested in doing that, there's all different support levels from $5 on up, just as a monthly thing. And if you're not in the position to do it, again, no harm, no foul. Never get upset with anyone because I understand a bunch of people are in a bunch of different financial situations, but that's one way that you can do it. Also, completely free, but if you are a patron, you had early access. We do have our brand new power rankings video is out. So let me pull that link up here really quick just to have it. And here is the power rankings. Actually, I probably should just put the power rankings. Got this done last night. So all the patrons had early access to it. And then we debuted it this afternoon for everybody else. So again, just little perks that you get, getting your name mentioned and get early access to some of the videos. We got other videos that we're working on. Next one for sure will be our 3 up, 3 down on Thursday. First pitch is a fastball that is clearly outside to Francisco Lindor, but they call it a strike nonetheless. That's low to Lindor. 1 ball, 1 strike. So I've not gotten to actually watch too many. Thank you, Wesley. Appreciate it. I've not gotten to watch too many Paul Skeens full outings, so it'll be interesting to see. But Lindor doesn't care that it's Paul Skeens. He drives one through the hole on the left side. Big about going for 2. Who thinks better of it? And there's a leadoff single for Francisco Lindor. Lindor in the leadoff spot as the first batter for the Mets in the game this year, just been phenomenal. It just puts so much pressure on the other team when the first batter of the game gets on base consistently. And yeah, obviously, you know, he's not going to win a batting title, I don't think, but to have Lindor as a 300 hitter with power at the top of this lineup is really nice. Here is Juan Soto at the plate. All right, Soto has not reached base the last 2 games, and he's never had 3 straight games where he started in his career where that hasn't happened. I do, Wesley. I'm feeling good about this team. There are definite holes in this roster, but there is zero panic. And I think it's a healthy position to be in, where you can realize your roster has holes, but you can just enjoy the ride. That's outside to Soto. 2 balls, 1 strike. Skeens is nasty, but got 2 losses in a row. Absolutely. I feel like Skeens is maybe doomed to have a little start of a career similar to DeGrom, where DeGrom missed out on so many wins that were robbed from DeGrom because of a lack of offense. So Juan Soto, by the way, just so you guys know, is 3rd all-time in on-base percentage through their age 25 season, behind just Jimmy Fox and Mickey Mantle. When you're talking about generational talent with on base percentage like that. It's crazy, and we have him for years and years to come. Yeah, I loved Jose Reyes. A big fan. As you guys know, I'm a. By the way, it's 3 balls, 1 strike to Soto. Is the count here, but I'm just such a big fan of that old school baseball. I mean, but you got to remember, I grew up in the era of Ricky Henderson and Vince Coleman, and I mean, I even grew up in the era where pitchers actually knew how to bunt. And that's ball 4 to Soto. So Soto does get on base today and breaks that streak of 2 games in a row without getting on base. So the Mets have runners on first and second with nobody. And if you don't know this by now, I will tell you it's generally a good rule of thumb. If you're going to get to a good pitcher, get to him in the first inning. Because once these guys settle in, it gets hard to get them out of their rhythm. First pitch to Alonso is inside, 1 ball, no strike. So definitely like the patience the Mets are showing here. In my power rankings this week, I didn't even really have to mention Pete Alonso because there's so many other guys stepping up on this team, which is really something that just makes this team fun. You've got just different guys stepping up at different times, both kind of on a weekly and monthly time frame, but also on a day-to-day, game-to-game time frame. Ooh, Alonso chased that inside fastball, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Oh, that's a nasty pitch. That pitch was like it's a fastball. It looks like it's coming in, and then at the last second, it dives back towards the right-handed hitter, or a left-handed hitter. It would dive away from them out of the strike zone. That is a nasty pitch. Pete fouls that one away. Remains 1 ball and 2 strikes. Absolutely, and I will say, so the National League is still by far the strongest of the 2 leagues. However, I am surprised if you have not checked it out. Look at the American League Central, just minus the White Sox, of course, right? It's like you look at the National League West minus the Rockies. Well, it's the same thing on the American League. Look at the American League Central. Even the Minnesota Twins, who they took 2 out of 3 from us Mets, but they're struggling to start the season. They're on an 8-game winning streak coming into tonight. Pete grounds it to the shortstop. It's going to be a double play ball. Lindor is able to move up to third. Pete hit it hard, but right at him. So, Dark Knight Rising. Is that a Matt Harvey reference? There, I mean, it's unfortunate it's a double play, but Pete still really got a good swing on that pitch. They just had him play perfectly. Swimo Brandon Nimmo, he's starting to do well. He's hitting 4 last 10 at bats, 4 for 10, so that's not too bad. That's a strike at the bottom of the zone. 1 ball, 1 strike. Of course, Brandon Nimmo is a new dad. Oh, did they? I missed the Matt Harvey. But I caught the reference. I just missed him on the broadcast there. Pop foul by Nimmo. Brandon Nimmo's a new dad. His wife gave birth over the off season. So there's a really cool article on MLB about Brandon Nimmo's wife. I know some of you probably don't care, but I'll see if I can pull that up for you for those of you who haven't gotten a chance to read it. I don't know. They maybe pulled it down already, but all right. And Nimmo strikes out. That's going to be it for the Mets here. So the Mets threaten but do not score. And once again, here we go. Let's see how long the bats are going to stay quiet today. So it is nothing, Mets and Pirates all tied up going to the top of the second inning. Of course, with Paul Skeens, you have the whole. This is the MLB's version of of Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift. It's Paul Skeens and Livy Dunn. I would say neither of them are quite as famous as their counterparts, but yeah. So Livy Dunn sightings. Was that the first one? I think that's the first one. We'll do a Livy Dunn counter. I don't know if I'm even spelling her name right. Livvydunne. I think so. So that's like this is like if you're a football fan, you watch a Chiefs game, even if you're not a Chiefs fan. How it's like how many times are they going to actually show Taylor Swift? You're going to get the same thing for Livy Dunn, which all I know is like she's a gymnast. That's like literally all I know about her, and she went to LSU, same place that Skeens went. That is my totality of knowledge of Livy Dunn. So if you have Livy Dunn facts that you want to Wesley. Maybe that's why Ron Darling was what was your phrasing? He was a little conceited. Maybe that's why he reacted that way. Trying to get me to replace Gary Cohen. That makes your interaction make slightly more sense, Wesley. I appreciate the shout out to Ron Darling nonetheless. And Ron Darling, if you're watching this broadcast, that was all on Wesley. That was not me. All right. Sure, I got the Gary Cohen haircut. That's the one thing I got. I got the haircut. After that, I don't think I have anything else. Isaiah Kiner Falefa, whatever his name is. He's a 348 career hitter against the Mets. First pitch to strike, second pitch is a ball. Vitolet, good evening to you. Hope you are doing awesome here tonight. It is a 0-0 game in the top of the second inning. David Peterson pitching here. Kiner Falefa drives this out, and that's going to be a home run. That's going to be a second inning leadoff home run for Isaiah Kiner Falefa, who continues to beat up on the Mets. So there's the 1-0 early lead for the Pirates here. I'm pretty sure Gary Cohen has forgotten more about baseball than I've even ever learned or known. All right, well, Mets are going to have to score some runs today. That wasn't a bad pitch by Peterson. Maybe wanted to get it in a little bit more, but that really wasn't like way over the plate. That was just a good job of hitting by Kiner Falefa. That's Peterson's fourth home run allowed this season. This is a fly out to Juan Soto in right field. One out here in the top of the second inning. It's 1-0 Pirates here. He needs to retire and play golf. Y'all are funny. Y'all got jokes here tonight. First pitch to Jared Triola is outside for a ball. 1 ball, no strikes. One out here, top of the second, 1-0 Pirates. That's going to be fouled out of play. 1 ball, 1 strike. There's strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Triola. Henry Davis, the catcher. Henry Davis was a very celebrated prospect in the Pirates system, but he has yet to really figure out how to hit in the majors. He's hitting only 129 on the season. Why? Because it's really hard. Oh, you're good, Wesley. You're good. We're having fun. There's a strikeout there. Mr. Oh, let's go Mets, baby. You better believe in it. That's going to just figure out how to score some runs off of Paul Skeens. Mr. Livy Dunn. Mr. Livy Dunn. So appreciate you hanging out with us here tonight, though. So 2 outs here, top of the second inning. David Peterson pitching. Coming up is Henry Davis. You definitely want to get here before you cycle back to the top of the lineup. Try to get out of this inning. First pitch is a strike. No balls, 1 strike. I'm cheering for Henry Davis as a player, just not against the Mets in this series. But it's swinging him. Yeah. See, that pitch was 2 or 3 inches high, and he swung at it. That reminds me a lot of some of the pitches, not the swing, but the chase there. Very similar to the chase I remember Francisco Alvarez having when he first came up. That's outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And get some swing on a pitch in the dirt. Yeah. I'm not going to lie, guys. Henry Davis looks completely lost up there, which makes you wonder if he just needs to go back down to AAA for some seasoning. I mean, we'll get to see more at-bats of him in this series, but, I mean, he looked completely lost. I mean, I'm telling you, like, you name the baby Met who has seen bad at-bats over the last couple of years, it was as bad as any baby Met at-bat that I've seen at their worst. Whether it's Francisco Alvarez, Brett Beatty, Mark Vientos, Luis Angel Acuna. You know, when you're new and you're young, you have bad at-bats. I mean, that was not competitive at all. I mean, they weren't even, like, highly competitive pitches. Yeah. Tommy Pham is suspended. Go figure. Best player for the Pirates was Roberto Clemente. Yep. I mean, can't forget Barry Bonds was on the Pirates for a while as well. I remember when I was younger, the first team I ever remember hating was the Pirates. Much more so because if you go old school enough, the Braves used to be in the National League West when it was just two divisions in the National League. And the Pirates were the ones that were always felt like the Mets killers when I was a kid. And so I just remember hating on the Pirates much more so than ever hating on the Braves until realignment came in, and then the Mets and the Braves became kind of this, not kind of the rivalry really, because the Mets couldn't hang with the Braves, but it was that, you know, the Braves, the Smoltz, Glavine, Maddox, Avery. I mean, that, but before that, when I first got into baseball, I remember hating on the Pirates. The small head Barry. I'll tell you what, though, Barry Bonds was really, really good even when he had a small head. He was really good then. How's it going, Midnight? Appreciate you hanging out. Isaiah Kiner Felipe is related to Mets legend Ralph Kiner. That's cool. John's always dropping the cool, obscure facts. Like, that's awesome. I love that. Do it for the Mets here in the bottom of the second will be Swaggy Marquis V, Jeff McNeil, and Francisco Alvarez. So that's who's doing it. Going up against Mr. Livy Dunn, Paul Skeens. You have Barry Bonds rookie card. Very nice. Vientos drives that one. Going to be cut off. Vientos is going to be held with a single. That's the second time the Mets have had a nice single out to left field that was cut off and held to a single. Happened to Lindor. That pitch just didn't have the movement that it needed, and Vientos stayed on it. So back-to-back leadoff hits for the Mets. Travis Berg Jr., how's it going? Appreciate you. Hope you're doing well tonight. Are you streaming tonight, Travis? You're going to sell it for a Mets ticket? Sell your Barry Bonds rookie card? This popped up by McNeil on the shallow center field. Canario calls off the shortstop. I think it's Brian Hayes, their shortstop. You're being lazy. Hey, no shame in being lazy. I didn't cover yesterday's game, so Got to take those days off every once in a while. Small Barry was a better fielder, and again, still a really good hitter. Yeah, so we are getting on base, Mr. Ohio. And Gary Cohen said Paul Skeens has never given up more than 6 hits in a start in his career. And the Mets are already 2 hits in. So this is looking good. It's looking good. Yeah, you got it. You got to take that time to recover. When am I going to get the Mets tattoo? It's probably going to be a long time. Well, thank you for sending everybody over, Travis. Appreciate you so much. It's 1 ball, no strikes to Francisco Alvarez. 1 out, bottom of the 2nd inning. Mets are down 1-0 on an early home run by Isaiah Kiner Falafel, whatever it is. Yeah, put up 10 runs. Let's put up 10 hits first, for sure. Put up the 10 hits first, and then we'll see where we go from here. 2-0 pitch is outside as well. I'm going to say this. This is not bashing Skeens, but you can tell his command is off a little bit tonight, and that is good news for the Mets to take advantage. By the way, guys, there gets to a point where we can't say, like, it's a small sample size. Francisco Alvarez's batting average is still well over 300. So that's really exciting to see. And I just think it's great that we have a lineup that you can put Francisco Alvarez in the 7 hole where there's zero pressure on him to have to be the slugger. That's fouled back. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Yep. Beatty was clutch. Those 2 home runs. I'm telling you what, I feel like this might be Beatty knows that his opportunities left are limited. And it'd be really nice if this could just be the time that he sticks. This is my favorite Mets lineup that we were putting out there. Lisa, how's it going? Hope you are doing well. Yeah, so those are all my sports cards that I have up on the eBay channel there, Travis. So they have to be somewhat organized so I can find them quickly when they sell. Good. I'm glad to hear that. I need to offend somebody. So midnight, you missed it the other day. I don't think you were here. We rated like some creator, or I don't know, maybe you were here when we did that one, and they were just like, so one time they were like, whatever, but walk here to midnight. So but anyway, he was like making fun of us, like, because I rated. He's like, you rated, and you're the only person that came over here. What's the point? And then like 3 or 4 more people showed up. I don't remember if you were here for that one, but we offended that guy for sure. I do have some rookie cards. Variety. I have a Brett Beatty rookie card, a nice one. So here, it's the link to the eBay store is in the description, but I'll post it for you guys if you want to browse around. And I have make an offer on everything. So if there is anything that you like that you don't like the price on, let me know. Let me know for sure. Like, let me know that you follow on YouTube if I can't tell from the name, and I'll cut you I'll cut you the best possible deal I can. So it's mostly low end stuff. I don't have tons of high end stuff or anything like that, but yeah. Oh, Mets off. Well, yeah, that's true too. Yeah, offensive Matt offense, offensive Mets off. Yeah. Okay. Where's that? So appreciate you checking it out. By the way, Alvarez worked the walk. Beatty is now at the plates. No balls and 2 strikes. Chad is hopping today. Yeah, I actually cleaned the office a little bit here today too. Yeah, I'll give you all the YouTube. You all get the YouTube discount. Like, just tell me. Like, tell me what you're interested in, and I'll cut you like my bare bones deal. So I'm actually looking to kind of clean out inventory so I can go out and buy some fresh stuff for the store. So yeah, just like make offers on things, and if I can take the offer, I'll do it. And if I can't, I'll give you my best price because I appreciate you guys on that. Yes, we're doing a Livy Dunn count. So far, we've seen her once. At least that's all I've seen her. If you see her again, Livy Dunn is, I don't know, are they married now? Rally Bear for $1. You just want Rally Bear to be retired. Did they get? I thought they got married. I don't know. Swing and a miss by Beatty there. That's going to be 2 outs. Skeen's location is getting a lot more dialed in here. So Skeens has these pitches, and they look like some of them look like they're coming in and they stay straight, and then other times they look like they're coming in and they either dive in or dive out or whatever. I mean, it's nasty. So far the Mets are being patient. First pitch to Acuna is a ball outside. Their boyfriend and girlfriend. See, I know nothing about this. The Greg Jeffries rookie card. Oh man, I never pack pulled a Greg Jeffries card when I was a kid, but I wanted to so bad. And now, obviously, who cares? His Topps, I still remember exactly what his Topps rookie card looked like. And there's a grounder up the middle, and that's going to be flipped out, and the Mets are going to be retired. Yeah, I found that one at my that Beatty slab I found at the card shop this summer. So, and actually my philosophy when I bought that Beatty slab was I thought for sure the Mets were going to trade Beatty this offseason. Like I thought for sure. Home run king Beatty, you mean, Rels? Home run king. Do you know Brett Beatty is like tied for second in the major leagues in home runs over the last week with 3. Yeah. So we talked about this. I don't know if you guys who was here when we did this dive a little bit, but leaving runners on base is not a sign of a bad club. In fact, when we looked at it, the teams that leave the least runners on base tend to be the worst teams. So you got Dale Strawberry card before he left for the Dodgers? Yeah. I remember this is way back right around 89. So I bought 1 pack. For you baseball card fans, you're going to know that. But I bought 1 pack of 1989 Upper Deck, and I pulled the Ken Griffey Jr. rookie out of it. But in 1988, I was, of course, a Mets fan, and this was the same time. So Darryl Strawberry and Frank Viola and one other, I forget who it was. It wasn't good, and it was somebody else. Anyway, so I traded my 89 Upper Deck Ken Griffey Jr. rookie card for a Darryl Strawberry and Frank Viola rookie card. Not my proudest moment as a baseball card kid, but as a Mets fan, I still represented them well. It's not the first time I got ripped off in life, and it's definitely not the last. Your dad loves baseball cards, yeah. Yeah, Ken Griffey Sr. Well, appreciate everybody hanging out. Hope you guys are doing well. It's going to be a battle. The Mets are getting base runners against Skeens, so I am highly encouraged by that. They've gotten to hit every inning, and they're getting walks and getting runners on base, and that's a starting point because if anything, you want to make Skeens work. His pitch counts up to 36 pitches through 2 innings, which that's really good too because this game, a lot of it is just about getting Skeens out of it. Oh yeah. I remember going down. We had like a deli, or like a village deli that was like, I don't know, 6 or 8 blocks from my house, and we would walk down there and go get a pack of cards every once in a while. I remember fond memories doing that as a kid. Getting that gum. Of course, you can still get those old packs of cards with gum, and some will do that. Yep. Exactly, midnight. Exactly. I don't even know who they're interviewing. Did you just say he was in the Lucky some club? Here's a grounder to Beatty at third. Makes throw over to first. Brian Hayes is retired for the first out in the 3rd inning. Oh, you just bought the Juan Marichal card. Awesome. Thank you, Travis. I appreciate it so much. We'll get it shipped out to you tomorrow. Thank you for supporting the channel and the eBay store. So I appreciate you guys so much. Hit Homer. Don't. Scott Connor. Gotcha. I didn't catch who it was when we were doing that. We start scoring around the 5th inning. Yeah. That's like 100%. Like that's like feels like you got auto-corrected by Bart Simpson midnight. 2 outs here in the top of 3rd inning. Future Hall of Fame ballot, Andrew McCutchen. He'll be on the Hall of Fame ballot. Scott Kiner's 1, Livy Dunn 1. This is a short fly ball out in center field, and Jeff McNeil is able to chase it down. And that was a good inning. That was the best inning so far by David Peterson tonight. We're going to head to the bottom of the 3rd. 1-0 Pirates. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out with us. I should be comedy because I'm fun. Well, I try to keep that entertaining for you guys. I always just figure as long as it's entertaining to me, then that's the most important thing. And if everybody else likes it, then I appreciate it. As long as you stay around, I guess you don't hate me too much. Gotta support the Mets, homies. Well, thank you so much, Travis. So, and if you're not into the baseball card thing and the eBay thing, the one other way that you can support is you can check out the Patreon that we just got rolling this week. So let me just show you if you hop on the Patreon, you get early access to things. So all of our patrons got to check out the power rankings early. So, and then like the 3 up, 3 down on Thursday, you get to do that early as well. There's all sorts of different levels that you can support on the Patreon if you want to do that. And that's a simple way to do it until we get YouTube memberships and some of that other stuff going. But there's things that we have to do. Hey, there we go. All right. The order just officially came through on my side. So thank you. Thank you so much. So, and a special shout out to our first patrons, Darren Rivera, Bye for the Hobbit. Appreciate you guys. So thank you for supporting the channel. And for all of you, whether you're a patron or not, I would please ask if you hit that like, hit that subscribe. I know Wardy is doing his once a week live stream. So we normally we raid creators. Normally we'll raid them during the 7th inning, but Wardy's live on YouTube now. So you guys want to go raid the Wardy stream now? Because I think he's only going to be live on YouTube through like the 3rd inning or so. So we're going to do an early raid. For those of you who don't know Wardy NYM, he's one of the most popular Mets content creators. That's fouled out of play by that. And Wardy was like the first Mets streamer that I found. So, and he's going to be live. He goes through another one, but we're going to go. Yeah. So a lot of you guys know Wardy. We'll go raid his stream here really quick. In case he sees us, calls us out or whatever. It's always, always works for the channel. So we're going to do an early raid. Early raid. We'll still do another one in the 7th inning, but we're going to do a Wardy raid right now. All right, here's the link. The link is in the chat. This is Wardy's stream. Highly recommended. He's not, he does curse and stuff, so he's not like family friendly like we are. But he does have a wee little one. He just took his kid to his first Mets game yesterday. So we're going to go ahead, do a Wardy. We're going to go raid Wardy for a few minutes. So go say hi. If you are a Mets fan, great place. He's always on top of it with the news. He actually has real connections He doesn't just talk like off the top of his head. He has real connections in the baseball world. There we go. I see you, Midnight. At least from what I understood, he was gonna be doing YouTube through here, but we'll at least do our best. Let people know what they're going on, hanging out here. One ball, one strike to Soto here, as Lindor was retired. We'll see if Wardy shouts us out or not, but every once in a while, I'll go to one of the bigger streamers. Hey, hey, we got the shout out. There we go. Awesome. We got a shout out from Wardy. There you go. There's sounds good, Wesy. And Alonso's going to ground out to end the third inning as well. Yeah. 1-2-3 inning for Paul Skeens, both Skeens and Peterson. Yeah, that was good. Thank you guys for doing that. That's the early raid. That is the early raid. We picked the right time. Yes, he did. He did. And it's appreciated and it's good. So, like, I mean, he's a huge creator, guys, and he's got 33,000 subs. So, all right. All right. Sounds good. Thank you guys for that raid. That was fun. Early raid, and always trying to slowly build networks with some of the bigger creators too. Mostly we like to try to support the little ones, but it was kind of a perfect time. There were only like 50 people watching, and so you guys were all awesome. Thank you guys for helping with that raid. We'll still do our normal 7th inning raid. I'll try to find a pirate streamer today. So we try to find streamers from other channels as well, that are small, that are just putting the work in. And sometimes they appreciate it, and you're going to find the bigger the channel, the more they're going to generally appreciate it. In general, it won't always be exactly that, but somebody's got a Paul Skeens live stream, so that's probably a Pirates fan. Let me see. I'm going to do some digging here. We're going to find some other creators. So, all right, so we're on commercial break right now. You're not missing any of the action, so don't worry about that. Yeah, this is a pirate streamer, so this is perfect. He's got a nice small stream, so as long as he stays live till the 7th inning, we'll go ahead and do that. How's it going, Justin? Not bad at all, yeah. So, Wardy, by the way, if you are a Mets fan, Wardy's got some great coverage. Not every Friday night, midnight, but most Fridays we will. What time is Grassi's Friday night stream? We can go raid Grassi. I need to reach out to Grassi actually and let him know. Let him know that the sports is on a new channel now. There's actually quite a few pirate streamers. I'm impressed. There's more pirate streamers than I thought there would be. So, all right, here we go. Top of the fourth inning, Peterson pitching, Gorski at the plate. It's 1-1 strike. We're back at it with it. All right. Yeah, we can do that some Friday for sure, midnight. Yeah, I know he does Friday night Q&A. We'll just find it a night that it works the same time, where he's streaming the same time the Mets are. We'll have to do a yeah, for sure. He'll appreciate it. Swing and a miss by Gorski. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And he goes chasing. Swing and a miss by Gorski. It's going to be 1 out in the top of the fourth. So other than a couple of walks by Peterson, he's settled down pretty well so far this game. And Kiner Falefa is retired, and that's going to retire the Pirates already. So that was another quick inning by David Peterson. Exactly what the Mets and this Mets bullpen need as we head to the bottom of the fourth. You got Swimmo, Brandon Nimmo, Swaggy, Marky V, Mark Vientos, and the Squirrel, Jeff McNeil, due up for the Mets. As we're doing that, let's do this. We haven't done a full scoreboard update for all baseball things. Midnight, I believe full NFL schedules come out this Thursday, right? Yeah, for sure. For sure. You can fake it. I'll do a little research because it kind of depends, obviously, on whether or not I'm delivering, when the Mets are playing, and different things. Because sometimes, some Fridays, I try to stream 2 games a weekend if I can. I usually can't get all 3, but I try to stream 2 when possible. So if I can do Saturday, Sunday, then I might not do a Friday, but we'll make it work. It's going to line up eventually here. All right, so here, let me quickly do this. Let me show you guys the current scoreboard. That's not the current scoreboard. Where's the current scoreboard? There's the current scoreboard. All right, games going on right now. Cardinals and Phillies are tied at 1. Cardinals are on an 8-game winning streak. And honestly, I wouldn't mind if it continues, if they can just keep beating the Phillies. The Guardians lead the Brewers. Looking ahead to the Boston Red Sox and thinking Bruins. All right. Anyway, Guardians lead the Brewers 4-0. That's end of the 6th. The Detroit Tigers are absolutely destroying the Red Sox. 12-0 in the 4th inning. Of course, this game, Mets are down 1-0 to the Pirates. Braves lead the Nationals 2-1. That's top of 4. Marlins and Cubs are 0-0 early in that game. Rockies are warming up to lose against the Rangers here shortly. And you got the Royals, Astros also warming up. And then you got 3 games coming up in about an hour and a half. Angels at Padres, Yankees at Mariners, and Diamondbacks at Giants. Mariners have had a great start to the season. They just absolutely perfect. We'll look to do it because there's definitely some nights where it's hard to find people streaming, and we'll keep the grassy counter raid in the back pocket for a future time. Like, I think the funny thing is, like, most small streamers would never the truth hurts on the Rockies. I think a lot of small streamers will be like scared to raid a larger streamer than them. Like, your absolute worst case scenario of a small stream raiding a big stream, your worst case scenario is you get totally missed or ignored because the chat's running too fast and you don't have enough people to get noticed. But that's like your worst case scenario. Here's the 2-1 pitch to Brandon Nimmo. Oh, this is driven out towards the gap, off the wall. It's going to be extra bases for Brandon Nimmo. It's going to be a leadoff double. That's the 3rd hit of the game off of Skeens. Let's go Mets, baby. Welcome, Mets fan. Glad that you're here. You came in just in time for the Nimmo leadoff double. Nimmo has just been on fire here. He's hitting like over 400 over the last few games. He's looking good. Vientos pops it foul. I don't think we get the Packers this year. Yeah, if only 4 feet higher. You're right, Justin. But the rest of this lineup's got to come through today too. And what I like in general is, regardless of whether or not we can score against Skeens, we are just running up that pitch count. The only inning we didn't really do anything was that third inning was not a good inning. But the first, the second, the fourth, we're getting base runners on. Paul Skeens has never given up more than 6 hits in a start in his career. And the Mets are at 3. So Vientos is up, followed by McNeil and Alvarez. No, we get the NFC East, I think, is our main. Ooh, that was chased by Vientos. Vientos is retired. All right. So anyway, we ran through all that. We can take those scores off. Grounded by McNeil down the right field line. This is going to be extra bases. It's going to score. Brandon Nimmo tie the game. It's going to be a double for Jeff McNeil. Yeah, it's really nice when you have a former batting champion hitting in your 6th hole. So there we go. The Mets have tied the game up. First double of the year for Jeff McNeil. And the Mets just keep on rolling. And you can just tell, even though it's not like every single batter is going to see the pitches well off of Skeens, because he's a great pitcher. But you can also tell this team is not intimidated by Paul Skeens either. There's no, oh, I'm afraid he's going to strike me out. Like, they're not playing scared. They're kind of got this good mix of patience plus aggressiveness. And they've been able to work some walks. They've been able to now string some hits together. They've had multiple base runners in multiple innings. Francisco Alvarez is at the plate now. First pitch is a strike. So is the second. That's kind of very bottom of the zone. No balls, 2 strikes to Alvi. Beatty on deck. Luis Angel Acuna in the hole. So there you go, Justin. Even though Nimmo didn't get the home run, McNeil got him in, and that's all that matters. That's outside. There's only 1 out here. There's the 1-2 pitch is outside. It's 2 balls, 2 strikes. You got a former batting champion hitting in the 6th hole. In the 7th hole, you have your catcher who's hitting .318 on the season. That's a grounder to short. It's hit in front of McNeil. So McNeil has to go back to second. Jeff freaking McNeil, I'll tell you what. It's really y'all can disagree with me. That's fine. We're allowed to have differences. This lineup is my favorite lineup the Mets have right now. I understand you got to sub some guys out, but if I could change anything up, I don't even know if I would. I mean, maybe I put Vientos in 4 and Nimmo in 5. That might be the only thing I would change. Yeah, Vientos 4, Nemo 5, but I mean that's such a minor tweak. And what I like about it is it has guys in here that makes other Mets fans upset. Like Mets fans, yep, I agree. I agree, Travis. When Edwin Diaz, this is like just this is flat out to shallow left. Cutchin comes in and he's going to be able to retire, but the Mets do tie it up. The Mets have 4 hits on Paul Skeens, which you can say what you want. You can be as negative as you want. That is a great performance by this Mets. Like legit, I was planning on the Mets being no hit through 5 innings. That's how I came into this game. Not because I don't have confidence in the Mets hitters, just because we seem to struggle against good pitchers early in games. And so the fact that this is a 1-1 game, we're getting base runners. Skeen's pitch count now is up to 61 through 4 innings, which means we could potentially get into their bullpen in the 6th inning if we could string together a couple more runs. Meanwhile, you've got David Peterson. He had the one rocky first inning where he gave up a couple of walks that were kind of unnecessary. But he's just only at the 52 pitch mark. So he has about 10 less pitches than Skeens. And so I'm happy with how the offense is showing out today. So and again, if you want to be upset because the Mets aren't scoring 7 runs every game, that's fine. That's your prerogative as a Mets fan. But realistically speaking, when no team that Skeens has ever faced has ever gotten 6 hits off of them in a game or more than 6 hits, and the Mets have 4 through 4, I'm plenty happy. Plenty happy. So we're at commercial break right now. We're going to head to the top of the 5th inning. Appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you guys for hanging out. Thank you for supporting the channel. Please hit that like, hit that subscribe. We are on the way to 500 subscribers. With your help, our next check-in point is going to be 300. Should we raid a Nick stream tonight? Should I find a Nick streamer and raid them, Travis? I'm not a really basketball fan, but I know a couple of people have mentioned doing that. Because I don't know how many more times I'm going to be broadcasting at the same time that the Knicks are playing. There's a lot of Knicks streams, lot of basketball streams going on. My goodness. You're all about the Mets and the Giants. I'll see if I can find like a small Knicks streamer. That's a fly out to center field by Canario. 10 retired in a row by David Peterson. 1 out in the top of the 5th inning. Only 1 hit given up by Peterson, the solo home run, which is what you want to do. If you're going to give up a home run, do it when there's nobody else on base. All right, here's the count now is 1 ball, 1 strike to Triolo. Sorry, I'm trying to find a Knicks streamer that we can raid. Somebody small who could just use some love. There's a strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Triolo rips that one down the left field line. That's going to be extra bases. It's going to go all the way to the wall. Fielded by Nimmo, thrown in. It's going to be a double. Second hit of the game for the Pirates today. A one-out double. Give the Pirates a runner in scoring position with Henry Davis and Cabrian Hayes, the next two due up. Yeah, that was just not a good pitch. You just let that one right out over the middle of the plate there. All right, Henry Davis, the catcher, really struggling at the plate, hitting 125 on the season. First pitch is a ball there. One ball, no strikes. All right, here's the 1-0 pitch. Swing and a miss. Once again, that was not a super great pitch there that Henry Davis is swinging at. He's really. I just, I've heard, I know how hyped Henry Davis was as a prospect, and I know he's been struggling, and so. Stabbed by Beatty at third. Oh, great defensive play by Brett Beatty. That's why I like this lineup, because you don't have to take Vientos' bat out. And you get Beatty's glove and his defense here. Absolute beautiful play by Brett Beatty there. Potentially saving a run, because I'm pretty sure Triolo scores if that gets through. First pitch is a strike to Cabrian Hayes. And there's a strike at the top of the zone. No balls, two strikes. So Peterson trying to work around this one-out double. See what he can do here. They can get Cabrian Hayes here. Get out of the inning with not any major damage done. Here's the 0-2 pitch. I'm expecting dirt. Ooh. He left that pitch up, and Cabrian Hayes missed it, fouled it off. But he got away with one there. Cabrian Hayes wish he has had that one back. Beatty being Beatty. Look, if all you get is like a 250 hitter out of Beatty with the occasional power and a great glove, that's going to work. That'll work. And then you can let Vientos work out his hitting flaws that he needs. Now, mind you, Vientos has been doing much better over the last week. I believe he's hitting over 300 in the last 10 days for Vientos, too. So it's not like Vientos he just got off to the slow start, but the hitting's coming around. It's like, that's outside, 1 ball, 2 strikes. But yeah, I mean, there's no reason not to get all these guys in line. Now, what are you going to do when Ronnie Mauricio is back? Who knows, right? I mean, I like Ronnie as well, but can they convert Ronnie to the center fielder that we need? There's a crowd. Oh, Beatty makes that error there. So Beatty messes up the easy play there. In fact, but the Pirates are not able to score. So it's really not. Yeah. Beatty would have been better served to let that one go to Lindor. So it's going to be first and third. we're going to see if they're going to call that an error or base hit. For sure, Beatty would have been better served to let that ball go through. They'll be competing against each other, yeah, for sure. Hey, Lane, let's go Mets, baby. How's it going? How do I feel about the Mets? I feel confident, optimistic, and yet realistic that there's still some holes in this team. But I also know David Stearns is not done. But I like how this team has just kept putting up the wins, giving time for players to get out of their funks, giving time for players to come back from injury. First pitch. This is Brian Reynolds now. 1 ball, no strike. So Peterson's got himself a little bit. No, you don't send down Beatty right now. Beatty's hitting great right now. Three home runs in the last week for Beatty. I don't know if they're going to call that they're going to actually call that a base hit, guys. So it's an error in the sense of the better play there would have been to let the ball go through to Lindor, because once he taps it, then it knocks away from Lindor. But it's not an error in the sense that it's a play that even a lot of third basemen would even touch. So, and even if Lindor fields it, there is a very good chance going away from first base that he does not make the play on Brian Hayes. So it's very likely an infield hit either way. That's up high. 2 balls, 1 strike. So news on Torrens. Well, I'll give you the simple news. He's on the bench today. He hasn't been put on the injured list. Luis Torrens got a rough deal yesterday. We'll just say that. It's tip foul by Brian Reynolds here. 2 balls, 2 strikes. This is just from an article after the game yesterday. Carlos Mendoza said Torrens was feeling better. I'm glad he's able to walk to the dugout. He's in a better spot right now. Here's the 2 ball, 2 strike pitch. 2 outs, top of the 5th. Swing and a miss. Great pitch by David Peterson there. Yeah, I think he would have scored, Justin. It's such a weird play. I do think that Triolo does score there if he keeps on running. But he got 0 help from his third base coach, and that's why the Pirates are the Pirates. You know, even when your coaches are making simple mistakes and not giving them clear instructions, like keep going, it got through, go, 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 go. So, I mean, if Torrens is not able to go long term, of course, Hayden Sanger is going to be the most likely call up, but more than likely, Torrens is just going to take a day or 2 off, and I mean, he would have normally, right? You know, the first 2 games of most series is going to be Alvarez playing most of the time, unless you have like the night game, day game combo or something like that. So you're probably not going to be pinch hitting for Alvarez for anybody. There's probably nobody on this bench that's better than Alvarez in the spot. So Torrens is just there as the backup catcher, which means if he's on the roster today, it means he's able to go. So yeah, I would assume, you know, if there's anything major wrong with Torrens, they'll send him to the injured list. But otherwise, I think he'll be fine. They're showing Little Leaguers. I love Little League. Not all official Little League, but, you know, kids, baseball kids, softball kids. I should send in a picture of our team. Rally Pig for Acuna. Sounds good. I got to update the banner here, too. We're at the bottom of the 5th inning. It is 1-1. I should submit our team. I should submit the Bats from Florida. There's the code. Hold on. I got to take a picture of it. Awesome. Scan the code. Maybe I'll submit a picture of my son's Little League team. Gigwise, how's it going? Cardinals are on a heater right now, winning 8 in a run. And please beat the Phillies for us. How's it going? I like the new name. I like the new name. Is this a brand new channel, Gigwise, or is it a renamed? Is it a rebranded, or is it a new second channel or alternate channel? Hope you are doing well tonight. It's 3 balls and 1 strikes to Luis Angel Acuna. Acuna swung at ball 4, but it's going to be flared out. Oh, Triolo makes a great catch. That was probably ball 4. Awesome. I love it. I love it. I love the rebrand. I'm going to be rebranding my other channel too. So I just needed to move on. I'm still going to make some educational stuff, but I think I'm going to be rebranding towards a little bit more of a money and a finance channel. Lisa's always following you, Tim. Lisa's always following you. All right, Francisco Lindor is up 1 out here in the bottom of the 5th. Lindor rips that one through the hole for a base hit. And that's Lindor's second hit of the night. Mets, again, not intimidated by Paul Skeens whatsoever. Lindor is now, that is true. Technically, Lisa was here first. Unless she's a time traveler here. I can prove it. This is back from 741. This is from 741 in the chat. There was Lisa. So, yeah, see, those are all Lisa's comments from earlier. So, yep. Yeah, she was here first, Tim. That's all right. I was just letting you feel that you were special, that she follows you everywhere you go. You're booking a room and heard me mention Tim. First pitch to Juan Soto is a strike. Yeah. Fishing and outdoors. Nice. What level? Like, are you kind of like an expert outdoorsman? Or are you kind of like a hobbyist? Or like, if I put you and Bear Grylls out in the woods, would he be frustrated with you, or would he be appreciative that you were with him? Because if I went out with Bear Grylls, he'd be like, oh, man. Second throw over. Lindor gets back. No balls, 2 strikes to Soto. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Inside on Soto. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Only frustrated because you won't climb up the mountain with him. That's fair enough. Fair enough. I mean, I think my outdoor IQ is probably higher than the average person, but not by much. There's a swing and a miss by Juan Soto there. There's 2 outs here. Pete Alonso coming up. What's interesting, they just showed the side view of Skeen's pitch. It looks like it should drop, and it just doesn't drop sometimes, too. Alone? The other one, what was the show out of Canada that I liked? Man Tracker? I think it was called Man Tracker. I love that show. It's like out of Canada and trying to like evade a guy who was like on a horse trying to find you in like 36 hours. You had to like evade him for 36 hours straight or something like that. 1 ball, no strikes to Pete Alonso here. Bottom of the 5th, all tied up 1-1. That's inside. Good take by Pete on there. 2 balls, no strikes. Lindor on first, 2 outs. Brandon Nimmo is on deck. Should Alonso be able to continue this inning? Here's a nice 2-0 pitch. That's inside. 3-0. Look it up. It's really, if you like the idea of like kind of survival but not being tracked, I think there's some episodes on YouTube. You got to find the original ones because they put a new man tracker in after a few seasons. Pete gets onto the pitch. It's gonna get. Oh, Connor Falefa is not able to make the catch, and Pete gets bailed out. Who's pitching for the Mets on Tuesday? At least who's scheduled? Scheduled for the Mets tomorrow night is Kodai Senga, Mr. Ghost Fork himself. Yes, shelter's a huge deal. Shelter is a huge deal. I'm just trying to find a link for you for like there's not been much. I mean it's a handful of years old or whatever, but this might be a whole playlist. I don't know. Alonso swings and misses. There's strike 3. But yeah, if you like kind of that chasing guy, you know, like survival, but also like evading. So like kind of think of this idea of like you're a criminal on the run or whatever. So yes. Yeah, Man Tracker. That's the Man Tracker show. It starts with season episode. Oh, you're ahead of me. All right, sorry. I'm multitasking here. It's fun. Like it's not so much survival as it is you know, just not getting, but it's really fun. And I mean, obviously, they string it out a little bit to make it a TV show. And they're like, if you read up, there's some rules, you know, they try to do it, but it's still like the concept of it's still pretty cool. All right, so we are headed to the top of the 6th inning, all tied up 1-1. Mets are holding their own against Skeens and the Pirates. There you go. Seasons 1 through 4 free on Tubi. Yeah, no, people need to keep their clothes on. Keep your clothes on. All right. So, Lane is looking for some updates on some Mets injuries. So, I'll do some quick looks, see what the most recent news is I can find on any of them. What I see here for Montas, early June return. This might be the same article we already did once, but I'm just going to run through it here really quick. Here's the link if you guys want to read the full. These are updates on some of them. But Lane, so I'm going to bring this up. Andrew McCutchen is coming up for the Pirates here. Again, this is from like 3 days ago, so there might be more recent updates. This is what I could find in a quick search. Sean Manaea is now up to throwing at 120 feet and feeling good. I think the 105 was the last update we had done, so that's good. Scheduled to play catch off a mound, not with a catcher, but off the mound, which again is part of that. No timetable for return or rehab. So remember, he's going to have to do a full spring training warm-up, so you got another 4 weeks. So you're talking probably, I would say, early July there. Frankie Montas, there continues to be good news, who's waiting to make his Mets season debut. Following his third bullpen session on Tuesday, the veteran right-hander is scheduled for another one on Friday. After that, the next step is hopefully facing live batters. He's scheduled to throw a bullpen. A diving stop by Beatty, but he is not able to get him at first. The Mets are going to check. That's such a great play by Beatty. Oh, wow, that's close. McCutchen beat it out, but that was a great play by Beatty just to get to that. Anyway, scheduled to throw a bullpen. It's his fourth one, and then he'll be facing hitters by next week. Paul Blackburn, closest to returning this burn. He's currently on a rehab assignment. After 2 starts with High A Brooklyn, he moved up to AAA Syracuse. He pitched 3 2/3 innings on May 6th, gave up 1 run and 3 hits, a walk, striking out 5. He's scheduled to throw again on Sunday with Syracuse, although I can look that up here in a second. He's up to 50 pitches now. He's continuing to progress well. The goal is for Blackburn to reach 70 to 75 pitches after 2 or 3 more starts. Okay, so that's the quick update on the pitchers. I'll have to look up Ronnie. I know last I knew Ronnie was on up to AA. Kickoff throw over to first. McCutchen gets back. Count as no balls and 1 strike to Joey Bart. Gigwise. You'd have to survive on fish. You don't hunt. What about trapping? I bet you could learn some basic trapping. That'd be a fun thing, just like learning how to trap. Bart drives that one out to left center field, but Nimmo is there, catches it, throws it back in. That was hit pretty well by Joey Bart. That's going to bring up Gorski with 1 out here in the top of the 6th inning. So what I want to do, though, is I want to look up Paul Blackburn. Let's go Syracuse Mets. Let's look up his line from yesterday, assuming he actually did pitch. All right, Blackburn did take the loss yesterday. But again, think of losses and stuff like that. Yeah, go Syracuse, Lisa. Think of losses like spring training. It doesn't really matter because it's more about working on your pitch selection and everything like that. So yesterday, Paul Blackburn pitched 60 pitches, which that's progress. 3 innings, 4 hits, 3 runs, 2 strikeouts, 3 walks. So definitely not the greatest control. I got the bow and arrow. It's been a long time since I fired a bow and arrow. Way back to like fake Boy Scout camp when I was a kid. So, all right. There's the 0-1 pitch to Gorski. Chases after a pitch in the dirt. No balls and 2 strikes. McCutchen's on first. 1 out. Gorski is at the plate. No balls, 2 strikes. Top of the 6th. That's outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Gorski. Pirates have 3 hits on the day. One of them the home run. Mets got their run on a Jeff McNeil RBI double that knocked home Swimmo Brandon Nimmo. There's a curveball, foul back, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Gorski takes strike 3, look in. There's another strikeout for David Peterson. That's his 7th strikeout of the night. I mean, if you take the fact that he walked 2 in the first inning and then the 1 home run, otherwise it's been just a great performance by Peterson. Kiner Falefa, though, is the one who got him for the home run. He is up now with 2 outs in the top of the 6th. First pitch is going to be a little bit outside. It'll be interesting to see how Peterson's going to approach this here. I'm not seeing like any sort of recent news. Really, there's no new news on Raley since he was signed by the Mets that I'm finding. Cardinals are due for a World Series. I'll tell you what, there's going to be a hit out to right field. So Kiner Falefa is the only one who seems to have a beat on Peterson. It's going to be a 2-out base hit. Now runners on first and second with 2 outs in the top of the 6th. A lot of people had very low expectations for this Cardinals team, and they're putting a string of some nice wins together. They're currently beating the Phillies that we love to see lose. Not our Phillies, the Phillies we love to see lose. Cardinals are beating the Phillies 3-2. That's top of the 7th. By the way, in breaking news, the Colorado Rockies are leading the Rangers 1-0. This is a fly ball out to right field. And Soto makes the catch, and the Pirates are retired. They're definitely due. Tell you what, so the biggest obstacle the Cardinals have in the NL Central looks like to be the Cubs this year. We'll see if that's a sustainable winning streak overall that the Cubs are on. The Mets cooled them down a little bit, but the Cubs have had probably the hardest schedule to start the season. Yes, Rally Pig is 0-1. Don't forget, we have Rally Bear available too. But yeah, so the Cubs go into a really soft part of their schedule. They face, I think, most every team they face is at or under 500 for the next 3 to 4 weeks. We laid that all out in the power ranking video that we put out earlier today. So if you have yet to see it, here is the link to the power rankings. There it is on the screen. It's also, if you're watching on replay, it's down in the description. That one might not be in the description below, but anyway, you see it in the chat. If you're watching the chat replay, you can see that everybody who is a patron got early access to that. You can become a patron for as little as $5 a month if you want to financially support the channel. If not, that's perfectly fine. But you do get little perks like getting shout outs and streams like this, like we'll do right now. Thank you to Darren Rivera and Bye for the Hobbit for being our inaugural patrons on the channel. Just so you know what it would kind of look like in case you care. And do this. And so like yesterday, the patrons were able to come in, get early access to the link, watch the video. I know some of them did. So you get early access to some of the videos as well as vote on some things and just get to participate in the growth of the channel from a foundational point of view. So if you're interested in that, you can sign on up. And again, that link for sure is down in the description below, but we'll throw it up on the screen one more time for you here as well in case you want to check it out in between here as we come back, and we are going to the bottom of the 6th inning here. Cards into the World Series 19 times, won 11 of them. 2011 was their last win. Yeah, definitely one of the more storied franchises in baseball history, Tim, for sure. And a great stadium. If you've never been to Busch Stadium, highly recommended. It's like right in the middle of downtown, but it's one of the handful of stadiums that are downtown in baseball where you don't feel like you're going to get killed as soon as you walk out of the stadium. So it's in a really nice area of downtown. 3 balls and 2 strikes to the count to Brandon Nimmo. I've gotten to watch Cardinals Cubs games there, which is a great game to watch. I've gotten to watch the Mets play there. Swing and a miss by Nimmo. So the Mets need to get 2 hits this inning to do something that's never been done to Paul Skeens, which is to put up 7 hits against him in one of his starts. They're currently at 5. So Nimmo strikes out. Oh, it's probably been, I would say it's probably been 6 or 7 years. Fair ball. Falls in, bounces over the sidewall for a ground rule double for Mark Vientos. And there's a 1-out ground rule double for Mark Vientos. That is Vientos' second hit of the night. That bounce is really nice because that's probably only a single if it stays in play. So the ground rule double helps him out. Yes, I've been to the New Bush Stadium. Yes, the New Bush. So I don't remember if I ever made it to the Old Bush in time, but that is 6 hits on the night for the Mets. Looking for one more. Be the first team ever to get 7 hits off of Skeens. Also, Mets looking to take the lead here, too. Jeff McNeil was able to knock home a runner the last time. See if he can do it again. There's a swing and a miss. 1 ball, 1 strike. I just really love St. Louis. It's in the very short list of if you said you have to go live in a city, which one would you pick? Like in an actual city. St. Louis would be probably near the top. There's a disengagement by Skeens there. So 1 ball, 1 strike pitch to Jeff McNeil. It's outside. Good take by McNeil there. 2 balls, 1 strike. Stay tuned. The top of the 7th inning, we're going to raid a couple of creators. I got a couple picked out. I'll make sure they're still actually streaming by the time we get there. Three balls and 1 strike to Jeff McNeil. You pick Phoenix, and Jeff McNeil gets the walks. There's another base runner for the Mets here. Phoenix, yeah. St. Louis will be 1. Maybe maybe Jacksonville, but it's been a while since I've been through there. But I used to like Jacksonville. So all right, Mets have runners on first and second with 1. Francisco Alvarez at the plate. Alvarez swings big. Foul tips. No, 1 strike. That was a home run swing by Alvarez there. Great question. Where would you pick? Someone said you have to go live in a major in the United States. That's outside. Rally pig for Beatty. Well, if we're gonna bring it up anyway, I'm bringing it. Let's just bring them out now. Well, I'll hold off. I don't want Rally Pig to get blamed for a double play if Alvarez hits a double play. Uh-oh. And Alvarez hits into a double play. No, not going to blame Rally Pig for that one. I knew it. Oh, there's the Livy Dunn sighting, number 2. I don't know if I got all the letters right, but Skeens is a good pitcher, guys. He knows how to get out of things, but So there's 2 on the Livy Dunn. You're still going to get Rally Pig for Beatty to lead off the next inning. Peterson is doing okay on pitch count. He's at 90. So to get him through 7, he's going to need a quick inning here, unless they're going to sub him out now. We'll see. I'm not seeing any signs of a relief pitcher coming in. So I'm going to assume they're going to give Peterson this inning, and he should. He's earned it. He has earned the right for this inning. Now, the way I would like to approach this in general is have a guy warming up in the bullpen, so that way, as soon as you feel uncomfortable with Peterson pitching, you can just go. You don't have to stall for time. You know Peterson is near the end of the night. I don't think you're not showing him confidence by having a guy warmed up in the bullpen. You're just being prepared. So that's what I would ideally like to see. But Mendoza doesn't always like to do that. So sometimes that frustrates me, but that is what it is. And are we going to see Skeens next inning? Maybe. Skeens is at 92. I don't know too much about the Pirates bullpen, but I have to imagine it can't be amazing. All right, let's do this. Oh, we're going to do we got a couple of raids that we're going to do. So let's do that. I found a pirate streamer. So this guy's not live on camera, but he is live doing play-by-play. So we're gonna do it. We don't get to do pirate streamers that often. Maybe we'll do a couple more raids. We'll do some. Jose Buteau is warming up for the Mets in the bullpen. All right. Here we go. And again, just be positive, encouraging. This is not about fandom. This is about just supporting small creators. Some that are bigger than us, but just supporting people for putting the work in. There we go. So we're going to rate. This is Joey Wagner. He's a Steelers Pirates fan. So the link is in the chat and up on the screen as well. It's 3 balls and 2 strikes to Triolo here. There's a ground foul. Remains 3 balls and 2 strikes. Get back just in time to leave again. Yeah, that's what we're doing, Midnight. That's how we do. Show up, and then I send you away. Go to somebody else's stream. Hey, he's giving us some love, too, which is awesome. Soto's not able to do that. There's a foul ball. Remains 3 balls and 2 strikes to Triolo. Triolo's battling here. There you go. It's cool. That's like such a hard. That was a weird angle that ball came down. So seems like a nice guy. He's not on camera, but he is live. So anyway, do that. Let's do we're gonna do a Nick stream too. I think I found a Nick stream. I'm gonna just refresh, make sure that's still live. But thank you, Joey Wagner. Thanks for the shout out. All right, so there's that. So that was fun. Fun to do a pirate streamer and people not getting like all wild, crazy, weird about it. So, oh, is the game at halftime? I think the game is at halftime right now. So we'll hold off. We're gonna rate a Knicks streamer here. Yeah, he does seem like a nice guy. I liked it. I liked it. That was fun. So the guy who I was gonna raid for the Knicks stream, it's on break because I guess the game is halftime. But someone had suggested a while back that we should raid a Knicks stream. Yeah, that game is at halftime. All right. The Mets are going to go to the bullpen here. Jose Butto is going to come in. Peterson did give up a 1-out walk, or no, I guess it's a leadoff walk technically. There's Triol end up working at the walk, so that's fine. I'm fine with giving Peterson the opportunity to come in, try to get a quick 1-2-3 inning. As soon as it doesn't work, he's done. Peterson pitches the 100 pitches. 100 pitches is what he ends with on the day here today. The runner on first is his responsibility. So we know everything officially about Peterson's line except how many runs he's going to give up. But overall, it's 6 innings pitched, 5 hits, 1 run with 1 runner. His responsibility, 3 walks, 7 strikeouts, the only run coming on a home run. Currently, if nothing else changes, brings his ERA down to 2.84, relying on Jose Butto here. I think, Jonathan, my guess is Skeens is coming out to start the 7th inning in the same way, unless the Pirates get the lead here. If the Pirates get the lead, I wouldn't be surprised if they pull Skeens. But if it's tied, I think Skeens is coming out. Going to come out to at least start pitching the 7th, similar to what the Mets did with Peterson. Then if he gets in any trouble, then do that. But like I said, I don't know too much about the Pirates bullpen, but I can't imagine it's a great bullpen. So, and Skeens is the best player on your team. You're going to ride him as far and as long as you can. Going to be one of those games with a home run in the 9th. Yeah, sure feeling that way, isn't it? But that being said, guys, this was, whether Skeens is done or not for the Pirates today, the Mets did really well against Paul Skeens. I hope he comes out because I actually want one more shot at him. I think we can get him. I do think we can get him because due up for the Mets is going to be Beatty, Acuna, and Lindor. Beatty was able to put a ball into play his last at bat. Acuna is definitely eligible to hit the ball hard, and Lindor has 2 hits today. 2 of the Mets' 6 hits came from Lindor. So I'd love to have one more shot at Skeens. Like, I want to go after the best, right? I want to win. And if they bring in a reliever, I want to beat the reliever, but I'd rather beat Skeens. I want to give Skeens the loss. Beat the best. On the 1-1 pitch, it's a swing and a miss. The runner was going. He steals second because the ball gets past Alvarez. It looks like maybe it was a hit and run, which is so crazy. That's a tough thing to put on a guy who's struggling to put the ball in play. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Henry Davis. Foul back. 1 ball, 2 strikes. So there is a runner on second now on what turns out to be a straight steal the way it works. As soon as that Knicks game is back on and that guy is we're still going to raid one more creator. It just might not be here. Yeah, and what's cool about McCutcheon is he was with the Pirates for a long time. Then he left, was with the Phillies, Brewers, I believe, maybe one other team in there. And then he came back to the Pirates and looks like he's probably going to finish his career with the Pirates, which I'm such a sucker for baseball stories like that. Balls in the dirt on the 1-2 pitch. Going to be 2 balls and 2 strikes to Henry Davis. Top of the lineup is coming up. Brian Hayes, Brian Reynolds, Andrew McCutchen. The next three do. Did McCutchen play for the Yankees too? Wow, I don't think I would have been able to pull that one. Yeah, he was so good. It's swing and a miss by Davis. Well, one thing you can count on is Henry Davis is just not seeing the ball well at all right now. As a fairly neutral observer, having seen this from some of the younger Mets players, Henry Davis needs to go back to the minors, guys. He just needs to go play a couple months, get right, get his swing figured out. He's just not. I mean, David Peterson's a good pitcher, but he's made him look absolutely silly tonight on multiple attempts. And then Jose Butto comes in and he makes him look horrible. Like, he's just not. He just needs to go back. And I know it stinks, and I know you want to let guys work through things, but I mean, has been up the whole season? Did they bring him up? Yeah, it looks like they brought him up. They started him down in the minors. He has 4 hits on the season. It's just really rough. And he looks completely lost up there. I don't know. That's just my take on it. What do you guys think? I mean, I want him to succeed, but he just looks like he's just not ready. He's not ready to handle this level of pitching yet. Brian Hayes is up. The Mets are looking for the double play here. That's fouled back. It's going to be 1 ball and 2 strikes to Brian Hayes. Jose Butto pitching for the Mets. Pirates have a runner on second. There's 1 out, top of the 7th, all tied up, 1-1. Brett Beatty and Rally Pig due to lead off the bottom of the 7th inning. There's a disengagement. Throw back to second base. Triolo gets back. Of course, if the Mets could don't know enough. Fair enough. Fair enough. You know, that's one of the wisest things I've ever learned is you just don't have to have an opinion on everything. It's going to be fouled away down the right field line and out of play. There's pitch high, 2 balls, 2 strikes. So Jose Butto coming in for David Peterson. Runner on second is Peterson's responsibility. It is. It is. That doesn't mean you can't get informed and start to form an opinion. Another pickoff back to Triolo. He gets back. Well, that's 2 disengagements, so Triolo can try to steal here. Fouled back again by Brian Hayes. Good battle going on here. Yeah, it's always okay to not have an opinion on something. I know that's weird in the internet culture warrior age where everybody has an opinion on every story. It's perfectly fine to withhold judgment, get facts, and then make a decision. And anyone who wants to rush you into an opinion, so they pick off try again. No, I think the Mets knew the risk. They almost got him at second. So the runner goes to third on a balk due to 3 disengagements. That's outside, 3 balls and 2 strikes. And he walks him, so this is not going the way that the Mets wanted to go. Now, the only good thing is it does set up the double play. I love baseball where everybody comes out to the mound and everybody has to put their hands over their face so no one can read lips. So, yeah, not that the walk is good, but it does make the double play in order. Brian Reynolds is at the plate. Well, I think the better question, the question you got to ask, Rels, is who would you have brought in this situation? First pitch to Reynolds is a ball low. So, if you're bringing in a righty, I don't want to bring in Stanek. You can't trust Daniel Nunez yet. Who's available? See, I don't know who all is available today either. It's 2-0. This is the third batter, so you can bring in someone after Reynolds. This is a fly ball. It's a foul ball nobody can get to out of play. That was probably, even if it gets caught, probably ends up scoring a run. All right. Garrett, Stanek, and Diaz pitch yesterday. So I think the only other person you could say maybe you bring in is Kranick here. Right? So, or Brazaban. Those would have been your only two other options. That's low in the dirt. 3-ball, 1 strike. I mean, I agree that Budo's been struggling, but so here's a 3-1 pitch. Oh, Pirates are going to score a run on a fielder's choice. Lindor and Acuna did the absolute phenomenal job of trying to turn an impossible double play. So it's good defensive play, good try by the Mets there, but there's just no way. Acuna was way too far from the bag. I think the goal was to have either Acuna field it and throw to Lindor, or have Lindor take it to the bag, but it was taking Lindor from the bag. So the Pirates are going to take the lead here, 2-1. Yes. I think the Pirates are going to go to their bullpen now. That's what it's looking like. The other thing is with picking the pitcher, I don't have all the metrics about who has the best career numbers against particular guys or other things too. So there's a lot of pieces going in here. Brandon, how's it going? Grounder to Beatty. He throws it over to short. And the Pirates are able to score a run, take the lead. 11 games over 500 is as far as the Mets can go this season. I don't know if that's true. That's as far as they can go. It might be as far as they will go. That's why we'll play the season out and see that. I can definitely see this team going on a run where they could get further than that over 500, but sustaining that's going to be difficult. There's a lot of good teams in the National League. The other thing is there's a lot of really bad teams in baseball. I don't think I can remember a year where you could have a team as bad as the White Sox not be the worst team in baseball. But that's this year we have the Rockies. Yeah, dead. I would not want. Right. So in that situation, oh Cabrera, I missed Cabrera. So, but if they were going righty, they wouldn't have brought Cabrera in there. So you definitely Daniel Nunez has not earned a high leverage situation yet. So I don't think there's any reason you'd bring him in there. You know, the one I kind of might have liked there would have been Brazaban, possibly. But you got to remember too, we're just in the 7th inning here. You know, so you got to get through the 8th and the 9th. And my thought is, well, maybe they have Kranick on reserve in case this game goes to extras where he could pitch a couple. And maybe they want Brazaban. I mean, who do you want as your closer today? That's you got to kind of keep that in mind. Yeah, just a little bit, Midnight. Just a little bit. Are they still winning tonight? Hold on. Let's get the pass is yesterday, right? Hey, they're still winning. I'm not even going to say what's happening in that game right now. I'm not going to even say. I'm going to show you. I'm not saying anything. So check out something that's going on in that game right now by Chase Dolander. Hold on. No, I'm not going to say it. I'm just going to let you all see. If you look at the top right corner, it's the 5th inning. But just take note of what's going on right here. All right. You never know. You never know. So if you're you may want to at least follow that game here tonight, Midnight. That's all I'm going to say for now. All right, we're bringing Rally Pig out here. Well, it's actually not going to be Brett Beatty, but Rally Pig is out nonetheless. So Tyrone Taylor's coming in to pinch hit for Beatty in this situation here. So kind of a little bit of a defensive upgrade maybe going on here. Daniel Nunez is warming up in the bullpen. Oh, man, that means the Mets need to score runs right here, right now. Yeah, it's unfortunate when it's like that. All right, so Paul Skeens is out. Tyrone Taylor gets hit by the pitch, so the leadoff runner is on. I mean, it's probably not the same level, but it's the same frustration Miami Dolphins fans have. Well, there we go. Rally Pig comes through, at least with the leadoff hit by pitch. Luis Angel Acuna is up. This is the Mets' chance to try to take the lead. Caleb Ferguson is the pitcher. First pitch, Acuna is a ball. 1 ball, no strikes. All right, I'm going to see really quick, even though we're in the middle of Mets coverage here. I'm going to see if that Knicks guy is. Tyrone Taylor goes, and he steals, and he is in safe with a stolen base. Get over to scoring position. I got lots of tabs open here. All right, we got it. Yeah, this next guy is on. Here, let me just refresh really quick. Acuna swings the 2-0 pitch, a good swing on a good pitch. 2 balls, 1 strike. We're going to do our Knicks. We're going to go do our raid here really quick on the Knicks stream just for fun, if you guys wish to do that. Give them a like. It's got a lot of subs, but only 4 people watching, so we're going to help them out. And Acuna beats it up for an infield hit. Tyrone Taylor makes it up to third. And Acuna is going to beat it out. See if the Pirates are going to challenge. Oh, man, that's so close. I think so. Yep, he's in there. Mets have runners on first and third. Nobody out in the bottom of the 7th. Just had to get Skeens out of there, and things are rocking and rolling. All right, we're gonna go. We're gonna do a fun little raid for this streamer here, really quick. Acuna the Human Bullet. You better believe it. Mendoza's pushing the right buttons this inning. So we're gonna raid this Nick stream creator. Just got a few people watching. Share some love. I'm not a basketball fan, but we're a Mets fan, so we'll go do that. So there's the link in the chat if you want to do that. All right, first and third for the Mets. Yeah, he read it out. All right, here we go. Lindor fouls that one back. Snowball, 1 strike here. Bottom of the 7th inning. Mets are down 2-1. No outs here. Bottom of the 7th inning. Mets down by 1. There's a throw over to first. Oh, they bounced the throw to first. All right. Remains no balls, 1 strike. Bottom of the 7th. Francisco Lindor at the plate. That's inside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Lindor takes 2 balls, 1 strike. Two balls, 1 strike. Oh, Lindor swings at a good curveball there. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Here we go. Thank you, guys, for supporting the raid. All right, we're done with that. We're all focused on the Mets game from this point to the end. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Nobody out here. Bottom of the 7th. Oh, Lindor goes down swinging. He got him on that curveball again. Yeah, he seemed confused. That's all right. We're still sharing the love, Midnight. You know what I've learned, Midnight, is that outside of like the Grassi and the Parna and that thing, there's just not a lot of people who either raid or are rated on a regular basis. It's just, despite what Grassi is doing and how like much of an impact he's making, there's just nobody else who's kind of following along with it. First pitch to Soto is a ball. Wow, that one looked like a strike, but we'll take it. 1 ball, no strikes to Soto. I'm feeling like this is just a time for Juan Soto to really do some damage. Soto rips that one, but it's foul. 1 ball, 1 strike. That was a good looking swing. Good looking swing. Here's the 1-1 pitch to Soto. Checks his swing and he goes. 1 ball, 2 strikes. They're going to have a meeting of minds at the mound. Yeah, Lewis, I'm feeling Soto right now. Right now. This is time for Soto to come through. I don't want to leave this in Pete's hands. Nothing against Pete, but like in the very least, just get the fly ball to get the run home. There's a grounder slowly to first, and it's going to score the run. It's not pretty, but it gets the job done. It's going to tie up the game here. It is 2-2 in the bottom of the 7th. That gets David Peterson and Jose Butto and everybody else off the hook. It's a brand new ball game here. I know that's not like the perfect situation, but it's still getting the run home, extending the game, lengthening the game. It's also going to get Caleb Ferguson out. It's going to mean the Pirates have to burn another bullpen arm. Colin Holderman, a name some of you fans may be familiar with. Colin Holderman is coming to the plate. Of course, Holderman was with the Mets in 2022. With the Mets that season in 2022, he, let's see, just looking at how did he actually do in those games? He went 4-0 with a 2.04 ERA and 17 2/3 innings pitched. So 186 batting average against, 1.02 whip. That was back with the Mets in 2022. Fast forward to this year, he is 0-1 with an 8.18 ERA. His whip is 1.91. Batting average against is 333. So he is not the Colin Holderman of old. Why does this keep happening to them? Well, so part of this is this. Good teams get more base runners. Yeah, fielders pitching. But I kind of wonder, just with how low scoring this game has been, I wonder if that's why the Mets were kind of trying to save Brazoban and Max Kranick, both guys who can go multiple innings there. So I know I miss the olden days, especially when you didn't have the automatic free runner on second base, the Manfred man. I miss the games that would go 16, 17, 18 innings. I love it. Like the longer it went, the more exciting it got for me. But Brandon, the reason it keeps happening to the Mets is the Mets keep getting base runners on. And the more times you get base runners on, the more base runners are going to be stranded. So but in this particular case, the Mets did what they needed to do. This inning is also not over because Acuna advanced to second on that play. And sometimes it's just put the ball in play, see what happens. That's what Soto did. It was a soft grounder down to first base, but it was soft enough to score Tyrone Taylor. Alonso pulls one through the hole. Acuna's going to try to score. Safe. He scores all the way from second on a grounder to short left field. Speed kills. I feel like the Pirates are going to challenge this. I feel like the Pirates are going to challenge this for sure. Let's see. Are they going to challenge it? Yeah, Acuna even hesitated coming around third. I think he's in there. It's going to be reviewed here for sure. So there's a review. He looks out to you. He looks safe to me, Jonathan, because I think the hand got the plate before the tag got on the hand. We're going to need a reverse angle here. I don't think there's conclusive to say he's out. Just like, I don't think it's. Look at Nimmo getting down. Oh, yeah, he's safe. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's safe. Like, conclusively safe from that angle here. It stands. They don't confirm it. I know, he's so fast, guys. Such a beautiful weapon that the Mets have, and the Mets are going to take the lead. 3-2 Mets. All right, well, so hey, Rally Pig. Rally Pig came out because Jonathan wanted him for Brett Baty, who was pulled out of the game, but it doesn't matter. Rally Pig is 1 for 2 with 2 runs tonight. And the go-ahead runs at that. That's low to him. So the Mets have Pete Alonso's on first base after all this, too. Speed kills, guys. By the way, can I be honest though? Like as an old school baseball fan, I hate this no blocking the plate rule. I just wish that he could have set up and you just bowl over and you see if the catcher can hold on to the ball. But that's just old school. I know we're never going back to that. But Nimmo's going to pop this one up. It's foul territory, and Brian Hayes is able to make the catch. That's going to retire the side. It is going to be Mets 3-2 over the Pirates. Now they just got to hold the lead. I know, I know we're never going back to it. I know it makes me sound cranky and old, and I get all of that, but I just wish we could get back to the point because that's what baseball needs to be. St. Louis got the win over the Phillies, 9 in a row. By the way, I'm still not saying anything, but you might want to pay attention to the Colorado game, not because of anything bad the Rockies are doing. That's all I'm going to say. So, yeah, the Cardinals have won 9 in a row now, and they beat the Phillies on top of that, which is great. This is a perfect time, actually. I know. It's so good. It's like I would just prefer to say, let's just gear them up a little bit more so they can have the actual collision. Do that. So let's do this while we're on a commercial break. We're going to go ahead and do a quick little scoreboard update. And I want you to please pay attention to stuff that's going on in Colorado that I cannot talk about right now. Anyway, so here games going on or just finished. Cardinals beat the Phillies 3-2. Nationals and Braves are tied bottom of the ninth. Braves do have a runner on with nobody out. It's tied up 3-3. Of course, the Mets just took the lead in this game. The Cubs are beating the Marlins 5-0, and they had two runners on. They just ended the sixth inning. In the sixth inning in Texas, Colorado Rockies are beating the Rangers 1-0. 1-0. If you're watching my mouse, I'm not talking. Okay, top of the fifth, the Royals are beating the Astros. By the way, the Royals are another one of the hottest teams in baseball right now. Missouri baseball is on fire, and the Royals and the Cardinals play each other this weekend. Royals are winning 7-0 over the Astros. You got three games about to get underway, including Angels and Padres, Yankees and Mariners, Diamondbacks and Giants. Other couple finals, the Tigers beat the Red Sox 14-2, and the Guardians beat the Brewers 5-0. But the one I'm watching right now is the Rockies. Watching the Rockies, not saying anything. Well, you don't need to watch the game. Just watch what's happening in the game. We'll do some more updates. In fact, if this game ends and that game is still very interesting, we might switch over to it we might just switch to it on the stream. So there's a very interesting thing happening in Texas for the Rockies. Joey Bart hits this one deep left center field. We've kept by Brandon Nimmo. I don't know if he robbed him of a home run or not, but it was still a great, great catch there. All right. Well, because it's on, I'll put it on the screen. I'm going to put it on the screen for you here. All right, here. This is what I'm going to do. So I'll have it on the screen. Let's try it like this. See if this. I think it was a home run, guys, that was just robbed by Brandon Nimmo. So pay attention. Oh, never mind. Never mind. Wyatt Langford just hit a 2-run homer off of Chase Dollander to break up the no-hitter in Colorado. Oh, there is no joy in Mudville. Oh, man. Well, congrats, Chase Dollander, on a great pitching performance. Dollander is a highly touted pitching prospect, rookie for the Rockies. Pitched amazing tonight. So there goes that. And now the Rockies go from pitching a no-hitter to losing the game at present 2-1, down 2-1. All right, sorry, Midnight. Sorry for all that hype. Sorry for all that hype and just disappointment. I was very excited. Adam Frazier's batting now for the Pirates. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Daniel Nunez is the pitcher for the Mets here, so looking for his first really good. I know you don't like guessing games. It's baseball tradition is you can't mention a no-hitter in progress. Superstition. So all why do announcers and even players here's a little history into it. So there's probably nothing like it in any other sport that I know of. I don't know of any other sport where even the announcers won't mention it. Grounder to second. McNeil fields it, throws it to Pete. There's 2 outs here in the top of the 8th inning. So Daniel Nunez, Danielle, is looking to have his best performance. Yeah, no worries. I know you are not a guessing game type of person, Midnight. I'm trying to be loyal to my baseball roots. That knows you don't mention things like that. The one guy who has really been on today for the Pirates is at the plate. Isaiah Kiner Falefa. He's 2 for 3 with a home run on the day. 1 ball and 1 strike to Kiner Falefa. Oscar Brazaban is warming up. Yeah, that's all. That's all. No worries. But anyway, yeah, for anyone who's interested in it, this is a little bit of the history of the talking points behind that, just so you kind of know. Because people new to baseball might be really unfamiliar with that sort of thing. There's a strike, 2 balls and 2 strikes. 2 outs here. Daniel Nunez trying to get the Mets to the 9th inning with a lead. This popped up to the shortstop. Lindor makes the call. That's the first great inning by Daniel Nunez so far since he's been back up. So right away, we're going to give the rock solid relief performance as always. I reserve the right to give this more than one time in a game. This is my pet rock that I made way back in like kindergarten or something like that. Rock solid relief performance goes to Daniel Nunez. 1 inning pitched. No runs, no hits. His ERA went from 40 to 16 in that 1 inning. 40 to 16 with 1 inning. We're going to head to the bottom of the 8th. All we know is the Mets will have the lead going to the 9th. We just don't know if it'll be by 1 or more. Oscar Brazaban is warming up. He's looking to be the closer, most likely, for this game. If you haven't yet done so, please hit that like, hit that subscribe. We appreciate each and every one of you being here, hanging out with us today. We are on the journey and on the road to 500 subscribers. The goal again there by the All-Star break in July. Next checkpoint is 300. So we're going to most likely have a pitching change. Most likely for the Pirates. Let me see if that's been posted here. Well, Adam Frazier's going to stay in the game as the second baseman. Of that, I don't know if Holderman's going to come out again or not. Holderman might come out. He actually only pitched 5 pitches last inning, so I could see a scenario where they want to do that. Not tonight. At least not yet. Not unless this game ends up going a lot more innings. That might have happened today in that Tigers game where they won 14-2. Yeah, Holderman is going to come back out. First pitch to Vientos is going to be a strike. Vientos has been seeing and hitting the ball very well. He's 2 for 3 on the night. Holderman for Vogelbach. That's, yeah. Memories I want to block out of my memory for 200, please, Alex. Vientos hits it out to center field, but Not even to the warning track, and that's going to be one out here in the bottom of the eighth. All right. Jeff McNeil, Francisco Alvarez, the next two due up for the Mets here in the bottom of the eighth inning, which will hopefully be the last time the Mets come to bat today. But not going to lie, I'd love to have at least one more run. Be nice to have that insurance run. It's in the dirt. 2 balls, no strikes to McNeil. Three balls and no strikes to Jeff McNeil. There's a strike. 3 balls, 1 strike to Jeff McNeil. And that's ball 4. Jeff McNeil works the walk, which I like seeing that. Holderman has been struggling a lot this year, so hey, guess what? When we rated that Knicks streamer, the Knicks were losing by like 7, and now they have the lead. Alvarez swung for a home run on the first pitch and misses. No balls, 1 strike to Alvarez. Tyrone Taylor came in for Brett Beatty, and that worked out well for the Mets because both he and Luis Angel Acuna were able to score to take the lead for the Mets in that 7th inning. They're the next two that are due up after Alvarez. 1 on, 1 out, bottom of the 8th. Mets are up by 1, 3-2. Colin Holderman is pitching. Francisco Alvarez is at the plate. Kodai Senga is pitching for the Mets tomorrow. There's a throw over to first. McNeil gets back easily. That's low. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Alvarez. There's a fly out to Frazier. I really like having Brazaban coming in the 9th inning here, by the way, for the Mets, too. So that ball's going to get away. McNeil's going to move up to second. 1 ball, no strikes to Tyrone Taylor with 2 outs in the bottom of the 8th. But now, any hit could potentially score McNeil. All right. Mets trying to figure out how to get this last run home here. get up to a 2-run lead. Oh, that was a good pitch. Slider froze Tyrone Taylor there. It's 1 ball, 1 strike. That's inside. 2 balls, 1 strike to Tyrone Taylor. Here's the 2-1 pitch to Tyrone Taylor. It's a grounder to the shortstop, and Tyrone Taylor's going to be retired. So we are going to the top of the 9th. Let's go, baby. How's it going, 3GP? Appreciate you being here. We're going to the top of the 9th inning. Huascar Brazaban's going to be the closer for the Mets today since Diaz is not available after pitching yesterday. So Brazaban will be coming in due up for the Pirates. Now, I don't know. They may it's the bottom of the order. So 7, 8, and 9, which is absolutely the best you can ask for, right? Alexander Canario, Jared Triolo, and Henry Davis, 7, 8, and 9. Those guys are hitting roughly a combined like 140 on the season. On the bench is really not much. They don't have too many options. So O'Neal Cruz is on the bench, and Ji-Hwan Bae. And I mean, I don't know if they're both available tonight. Ji-Hwan Bae barely gets any playing time here. He only has 5 at-bats over the last 7 games that he's played in, even. And looks like he just came back up. Maybe he just came back up from the minors or from injury. Yeah, so it's a possibility, but O'Neal Cruz is the one you would expect to see as a pinch hitter if they can work it right. So let's see. Because O'Neal Cruz, yeah, because Canario is due up to lead off. I'm going to assume you're going to see O'Neal Cruz to lead off this inning. I'm not a Pirates expert. I'm just looking at what their options are. You got to at least give O'Neal Cruz a shot to rip one. Because all you need is a home run. Yeah, they're re-showing that Nimmo replay. He definitely robbed Joey Bart of a home run, which has saved this lead for the Mets. So some great defensive plays all around today. Lindor and Acuna made what was almost turned an impossible double play. Beatty made a good diving stop. And, of course, Nimmo's robbing of a home run on top of all that. Wow. Canario is leading off. Do they not have another catcher? Oh, well, Bard is their backup catcher, so they could give up the DH. And there's going to be a leadoff single right up the middle, just a seeing eye single. Well, don't listen to me. I don't know the Pirates that well. Canario gets the leadoff single there. All right. Ji-Hwan Bae is going to be the pinch runner for Canario. And he will be in there looking to steal a base here for sure. Jared Triolo is 1 for 2 on the day. So this is not going to be easy because it's the Mets. We know that. Brazaban's going to have to work out of some trouble. First pitch. Wow. That looked like a strike. They called it a ball. 1 ball, no strikes to Triolo. There's a grounder foul. 1 ball, 1 strike. Appreciate you guys hanging out with us all the way to the end of the game. Mets are trying to hold on to a one-run victory. Oh, Lindor off the glove. Oh, it was a double play ball, and Lindor just missed it. That's an error on Lindor. He didn't do anything wrong. It just missed it. Yeah, so I need to come back to that one midnight, the fan for a week. And so I am gonna work on it. I have a couple other videos I gotta get made first. You're squaring the bunt. Almost caught by Acuna in foul territory. But it's definitely like one of the crazy things is like when you start on this creator journey, it's like, how am I going to come up with new ideas? And then you sometimes hit a point where it's like, oh my goodness, I have more ideas than I ever could have time to create. So I do want to come back around to it. So I'm just trying to figure out which team I want to do. All right, the bunt gets laid down. Acuna fields it, throws it to McNeil at first. Runners are at second and third with one out. Yeah, no, I don't let it die. Don't let the idea. I have multiple post-it notes that I keep by here of all the things that I want to get to at one point in time or another. So, all right, Mets have the infield in. They're trying to cut down the run at home. Oh, bobbled by Acuna. Throw to first is in time after all of that. It's two plays. Yeah, that's a good idea, Midnight. Pirates are going to challenge the call at first. Two defensive plays made by what has been some of the most sure-handed infielders in the game. Both Acuna I'm watching the replay here to see if. Wow, that's close. I think if it's back of the glove, he's safe. Acuna moved over to third when Tyrone Taylor came in to hit for Brett Beatty. I think they're going to call him safe. Yeah. So errors by Lindor and Acuna. I don't know when you're ever going to see that again. Lindor and Acuna errors in the same exact inning. And Mets defense, which has been stellar today, it's just absolutely fallen apart this inning. Brazaban's pitching well. You know, so there's runners on first and third. There's one out. So All right, so the Mets are going to continue to play the infield in, trying to get the runner at home again. Ground ball. McNeil shovels to Lindor over to first, and even though they're playing in, they were able to get the double play. All right, so we are headed to the bottom of the ninth. Sorry, I know my banners are all out of whack here. Got so into the game here. It is Pirates 3, Mets 3, bottom of the ninth. Who is due up? Well, how about the two guys who just made errors with a chance to come back and get a little bit of redemption? Yes, it's Luis Angel Acuna, Francisco Lindor, and Juan Soto. That is who is due up in the bottom of the ninth inning. Colin Holderman has been pitching. He's pitched 21 pitches. I'm thinking that maybe you'll get somebody else here. Yep. Somebody, I was just trying to find, because somebody was saying before it felt like a ninth inning walk-off. But I forget who it was. Someone was calling a ninth inning home run walk-off, so I want to find it if I can. By the way, thank you all for hanging out here tonight. I appreciate each and every one of you. David Bednar. David Bednar is going to be the pitcher for the Pirates here in the ninth inning. Luis Robert Jr. Yeah, so I know that's the news that's buzzing. The player I want is Byron Buxton. He's the center fielder I want, but I don't mind taking a flyer on Robert. I just don't know if I really like the rumor of trading away our young pitching for him. Brenton Doyle, that's who you want. Mets don't have it tonight. I'm going to tell you the Mets did a great job against Skeens in general. Yes, they had a hard time pushing runs across, but everybody has a hard time doing that against Skeens. They got him out of the game, and so Acuna is up. First pitch is a strike. Here's the 0-1 pitch to Acuna. Fouls that one back. That was a good rip by Acuna. So it's tie game. So all the Mets need to do is get a run. Obviously, if you can get Acuna on, I mean, Brazoban probably doesn't feel great, but it really was not on him. It wasn't a perfect pitching performance. Acuna strikes out on 3 pitches, so yeah, Acuna made the error. That was not a good plate approach there. Lindor made an error. Let's see if he can take a much more professional approach. There's kind of a crazy thing here, right? Because, like, yeah, you made the error. Yeah, you gave up the lead, but it doesn't matter. It's still the ninth inning. You just need to score a run. And you don't have to try to figure out how to get the home run when you're just kind of leadoff hitter. Your job is to get on base. So that comes with maturity. That comes with getting older, becoming more of a vet. And I hope to see a much more veteran at bat here by Lindor. Because Lindor also feels bad about the error, I am sure. There's a grounder up the middle, and it gets by! Kiner Falefa lets the ball get under his glove. Hey, thank you, Midnight. Good luck. Make that money. Oh, my goodness. Just everybody's gloves are broken. It did. The ball hit the base, and he didn't have his glove all the way down to the ground. Yeah, that should not be an error. That should not be an error. Nonetheless, It's a base runner. So for now, they're calling it an error, but it should be. They should change it to a base hit because the ball hit the bag and changed directions. Soto hits one towards the gap. It's going to get down. Lindor's going to go first to third, and the Mets have, ball skipped on the base. Mets have runners on first and third with one out. And Pete the Met is coming to the plate. Just a nice, solid single. The infield's coming in. Lindor on third. I would love to see Soto try to steal here. First pitch to Pete's a ball. You got Nimmo on deck, Vientos in the hole. There's one out. Tie game. Here's the 1-0 pitch to Pete. Checks his swing. 2 balls, no strike. I mean, Pete, all he really needs to do here is he's just looking for a ball to drive to the outfield. We're raising up the desk here, guys. Time to stand up. Let's raise the desk. Let's get ready to celebrate, everybody. Let's get ready to celebrate. It's a 2-0 pitch to Pete. That's inside for a strike. I'll close the blinds the rest of the way now since it's dark out. All right, here we go. 2 balls, 1 strike to Pete. A hit wins it. A fly ball wins it. A home run wins it. Almost anything but a strikeout or a double play. That's inside. 3-1 to Pete. Yeah, I mean, there's a chance here. They're not going to intentionally walk him. They're going to try to get him to swing. See what he's got. Pete flies ball. Fly out to right. There's Lindor. He tags. And the Mets win it, and they walk it off. Pete Alonso does his job. And you don't have to be upset because Pete didn't get a walk-off hit. He did what he needed to do. That's something the Mets have been struggling with this season, and they do it, though, when they need it most this game. That's just a great approach by Pete there. Instead of trying to hit the home run, you can be just as much of a hero. No one cares if you win this game 4-3 or 6-3. Sack fly for the win. Got the bucket of double bubble on his head. There you go. I'm going to show you this for those of you who aren't actually watching the game so you can see. Pete Alonso has the bucket of bubble gum on his head. There you go. The Mets walk it off. They win 4-3. So congrats to the Mets. This was a hard-fought and well-earned victory. You can make the argument like, okay, the Mets didn't play great today, but I actually think it's the opposite. I think the Mets played really well today. And you have to remember the most hits that Paul Skeens has ever given up in his career is 6. And that's exactly what the Mets did today. So looks like Pete Alonso might be looking for some lost jewelry in with all the gum. Well, anyway, that being said, appreciate everybody so much. Thank you for hitting that like. Thank you for hitting that subscribe. Thank you once again to the patrons, Darren Rivera and Bye for the Hobbit. Appreciate you so much. Again, if you want to support this channel by becoming a patron and get your shout out, here's the link one last time. More patrons, the more content that I'm able to produce for you. But once again, great job today. Good pitching performance by David Peterson. Good job by the Mets to just simply keep pounding, keep going after Paul Skeens, not giving up, keeping the game close on the defensive side, and not getting down on the fact they made a couple errors in the 9th inning that maybe could have cost them the game. But emotionally, this team is a lot more steady, I think, than this team would have been a couple of years ago. They've got some maturity, some depth, and yes, they're good, but they also don't get down just because they make a mistake, and that goes from everyone from Lindor, who made the error, to Pete, not trying to do too much. So with that being said, I appreciate you all. Appreciate you each and every one. I hope you have an awesome night. And as always, let's go Mets, baby.